Hello, this is Anya Divine here, and this is step 2 of a painting I started from this lovely still life setup earlier. So you can find step 1 on my channel somewhere. It'll say step 1 vase in the studio. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so this is acrylic, and I've just been locating the position of the flowers, trying to contain it within this little 5x7 gesso board. It's an ampersand gesso board. I think I got it from Jackson's actually. Gesso board. That's what it is on the back. Okay. So I brought you closer so that I know you can't see the setup, but you can see the painting a bit more clearly. And what I'm going to do is send anyone who wants the photograph of the flowers from this viewpoint. So I'll take an image of them after this. And I'm going to do another half an hour, and that'll be me then today. So what was I doing? Yeah, so I was finding the position of things now by using some colour. So let's just bring some colour into the purple. There. A little bit of purple there. And I mean, it gets significantly brighter with the foil of the black behind. That's a jacket that I bought done and hung up behind it because I wanted there to be something dark that wasn't warm dark, like the boards of the studio wall. So I've just got a black jacket that I hung up on the shelf there. It's kind of handy. There's shelves here that I can hang things on. I mean, when I half close my eyes, there is this lighter purple colour too that I've got that could, when I half close my eyes, I think it's that bright over there. Yeah. So I'll just locate a few bits and pieces that are extending out into the dark of the background. Or just some flashes of light purple here and there that I might have missed. And I think here too I'm just finding the relationship between the daisy, this flower, and that one. And I think it might be this light violet colour all on its own, straight from the tube, that I could use there. It almost looks white, but it's not. It's got a violet tint to it. And there's a little bit on this side of the center of the daisy too. Again, my eyes are half closed, so I'm not seeing too much. I'm just seeing the significant darks and lights, and that's how I can identify the setup for myself with sureness, kind of, that I'm capturing what's important is by half closing my eyes. Because I think we see too much, even although my eyesight is failing me now a little bit. I still feel like I'm seeing more than I need to, unless I half close my eyes. It may not be the same for all of you. Thank God I do have fairly good eyesight still. Now, I think the next colour, would it be the orange? I suppose it would, really. And like I was saying before in the other video, my plan is to use some oil paint. I also need to keep an eye that I don't do too much. So my plan was to use some oil paint in order to really identify the brights at the end, how the light falls in certain parts of the flowers. I thought it would be best described with the richness of oil. But let's see, maybe I'll have done enough. Maybe I could, in another painting, stop sooner and explore doing what I'm doing now with the oil paint. We'll see. Anyway, so there's a little flash of orange. Again, really important to me to keep my eyes half closed so that I'm not bringing too much colour. Like, for example, that orange is really significantly darker than the one over here, which is catching the light more. And these ones in here are barely distinguishable as orange. You know, some of them are being covered by the shadows of the greens and things. So I'm just picking out those bits that are bright. And I suppose I'm doing what I said I would do with the oil paint, which maybe it's okay. Maybe I can just keep this an acrylic. And there was also some orange, again quite dark really, in the shadows over here. This is cadmium orange acrylic. And I find mostly it's fine straight from the tube, but I think in some parts of the Crocosmius there's a kind of a yellower orange. So I'm going to see, but there, for example, yeah, it seems like it needed that little extra touch of yellow there. And here too. Now yellow, of course, is easily adulterated, so the colour is coming through the background, so I need to deepen or thicken up the amount of paint I'm using there, because the background is showing through that transparent yellow. It's thickening up. Don't want it to stand out too much though. And then there'll be another little bit of it there. And maybe some touches on the buds. Let's sit here and there. Okay. And again, I'm noticing just a flash of red-orange here. It's not that bright at all though. Might even be more red. That little bit. More cadmium red. So I'm just going to put some red straight from the tube on there. And that's also got a flash of cadmium red to it, that one that's trumpeting off the edge. Again, with eyes half closed, there's a chance that there's some touches of red and orange that could be subdued with my thumb after, but I'm just placing them in first with this kind of bold mark making, knowing that it's possible to subdue them afterwards if we need to. I do love Crocosmias. They're one of my favourite flowers from the hedgerows in Ireland. And they sit underneath the fuchsia this time of year. Down near where my sister lives in Dingle, you can see a whole swathe of these now underneath the fuchsia bushes as you walk along the road near the Blaskets on Slayhead. And of course there's yellow in the middle of those two, but this is a bit of an orange yellow I've got, so I don't want to make the central yellows as yellow as this. Do I? No, I think it needs to be more lemon yellow there. And only certain parts at the edge have got that light brightness to them. Okay. So with my eyes half closed again, I'm going to see if I can find generally the shape of things up here. The orange that sits up here. It's a general area of orange. I think it's easier for me, rather than trying to do all the individual bits, to give a general orange to the whole thing, and then maybe find parts of the background that explain the edges of these Crocosmius flowers. Some parts that are obviously background, so I'm not going to cover them with orange, but here is some of the orange buds are extending up the way. And yeah, this is more orange than red, which I painted at first by mistake. I'll just lift off a little finger there to get that trumpety thing. And then there's another dark reddish trumpety one here. It's parallel to there's this little channel between it and the purple. And then there's more of its space down here, so I'll push and lift with my finger to create more of the dark space underneath it, between it and the daisy sitting there. And now if I clean my brush, what I could do is make up some of the dark background colour again with my Van Dyke Brown and Ultramarine Blue, and look to explain the edge. I'm leaving it more blue here because blue is the opposite of orange, and it'll help to make this orangey flower stand out, I think, if it's got more blue in it. That's why the background blue is okay there, I think. Don't really want to do this before the flower is dry, but there's an impatience in me. I didn't want to do it until the orange was dry, but sure, I'll just do that little bit there. It needs to be deepened, that triangle of dark. I think I'll just wait for that to dry a bit. Okay, so I'm going to do the dark behind this daisy up here now. I feel in a way like I'm almost done with the acrylic. I was going to use the oil to capture parts that are brighter where the light falls. I don't know if I'm repeating myself now, I said it in the last video as well. But there's really quite a lot of space between the daisy here and the next orange flower. In fact, the orange flower doesn't really extend further than there. Okay. But yeah, those are in a good position, I think. Those little bud things. And then this little red trumpety one too. Quite happy with the position of that. Maybe it doesn't come over quite as far though. So again, I'm using the background to outline the shape of the flower. It's a combination of positive and negative painting here. And I was saying, if anybody's interested to come along to the flower painting workshop I'm holding in Kilkenzie, it's on the Friday the 1st of September. I think you might enjoy it, the sea air. I love it down there. And I just love live painting with other people, especially painting flowers. There's something so freeing about that. I love portraiture as well, of course. And actually I'll be doing an online portraiture course starting on the 4th of September. And that's going to be in mixed media portraiture. A bit like this really, starting with acrylic and maybe using oil over the top. So just send a message if you want details of that. You can write in the comments below even, and send me your email address and I'll send you information on that. That's for something that you could join from anywhere in the world, obviously, because it's online over 6 weeks. I don't know, I'm kind of taking too much of the white spaces out of there. It might be that this is a good place to stop with the acrylic, and I don't know if I want to carry on with the oil, or while I've got a good momentum going, I'm almost inclined now to just keep at it with the acrylic and finish it out with acrylic. Because it is possible, like here, you can really brighten things up with clean, thick acrylic paint just as well as with oil. Putting touches like that on allows you to get that feeling of je ne sais quoi. And the oil paint is kind of underneath the table here. Might take me a wee while to get it out and set up. And sometimes the impetus loses, I find you lose the impetus for it when you're getting yourself ready. It's always a bit of a dance for me. Let me see. Anyway, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing for a wee while longer. I've got the brown and blue mix again. And I want to bring it down here a little bit more. Just to get the sense of that vase turning away from the light. And also how really the line dividing the thing is, it's kind of dropping down here lower than midway rather than going up. So something like that feels true enough. And there's a similar light falling on the tabletop beyond, similar colour. That's Maisie doing one of her nasal size specials. And I'm going to do my light on the petals here of this daisy. One of the brightest parts in the whole image, really. Now to support all of that, I'm going to do something light and bright along this side of the stem. with a mix of sap green and lemon yellow. This little green stem sticking out there as well. Sorry, green leaf. And some here. Just little buds. Touches of the light green where the sun is falling on them. And even maybe that stem could have a bit of that too. Not quite that much. But this stem has it. Mixed a bit of red into it in order to now find some of the petals that are here, overlapping the vase. Lighter than the vase, but not that far off the colour of the vase, really. Let's see now. Okay, I'm going to go back to that purple though before I start going into the background colour again. I want to re-establish some of these lovely lights and these purples. Just going to make this a bit thinner. I kind of want it to be curved in that stem. I'm going to create a bit more of a curve right there. you could say it's almost just yellow and white, really, that green. But a touch of ultramarine blue in. And then there's a little bud to the right of it that's just that colour too. And there's a leaf extending down here that's also that colour. Don't know if it's helpful to portray that or not. Probably not, actually. Just a few touches now of light green, and I think I'll need to follow this with some dark green bits in there. Maybe even kind of a yellow-green hint to things. And of course there's the yellow centres that are orangey yellow in the purple flowers. Let's see if this will work for that. Let's see. It's maybe a bit too orange, a bit more of the yellow. And some white in there. Try it for this one. Not bad, I think. And it's that kind of, I think it's that kind of thing that's happening in the reflection. Maybe it's a bit warmer though. I think it's this thing that's going on. Where the light is hitting the vase, giving it that little bit of a sheen. Okay, and down here too. I'll go with some Payne's Grey again, or at least my version of it made with the blue and brown, in order to do something for that pillowcase that they're sitting on, the grey pillowcase there. And do I need to, I don't know, sometimes I'm kind of inclined to clear up edges when I don't really have to. See, I think here I'd like to do that. And maybe some of the really dark background colour could be employed there again. See what it's like if I put brown on there. Just to knock the whiteness out of it a bit. Some brown and blue. I'm going to re-establish that orange that I kind of subdued a bit there. Because although it's in shadow, it's, I think, a significant compositional feature. That little bit of bright, a little bit of orange over there. And it's also shining bright here. And it's not shining bright, but I need to put some orange here to lengthen that bit. And some more touches. Now that everything else has been established, I guess it's no harm to put in some more of those flashes of orange that are revealing themselves as I look. Maybe when I rewind this, I might feel that I could have stopped a bit earlier. And maybe you're saying, yes, you could, out there in your world. But that's the dance, isn't it? Always there's this tension between fine-tuning and stopping. And it may be that revisiting with oil might bring back any life I might feel I've lost. When I look at it again, I don't know. Or it might be exactly what I was after. Right, that's my second half hour up. And I'm not completely satisfied. I want to put some more blue, the dark ultramarine blue out. I've got a couple of different versions of ultramarine blue, and some of it isn't as satisfying as others. And the same with the Van Dyke brown. I like the Galleria Van Dyke brown and the System 3 ultramarine blue. Let's see, is that right now? Yeah, okay. Because I want to make a darker blue-brown colour again to just find those bits that I really need to clarify here and there, to identify, for example, where the pot stops and the flowers inside it begin. Could do with lifting a bit of that contrast in that area, I thought. Here too. And I suppose that is in the shadow, so I could do with being subdued colour-wise. And then the background coming in to meet these bits here. It's all a bit of a jumble, but I think it's worth detangling it a little bit there. You might disagree. This does get a little bit lost in the background in places. The vase is a little bit lost and found, I think, more than I've got it. So I'm just deepening the tone of it there a little bit with the blue-brown mix again. I mean, really, the temptation is to pull out the oil paints because it could be just a touch here and there that might really be the final satisfying thing, you know. So you never know. Watch this space. There might be a volume 3 to this painting. Like, I'm thinking even just that line dividing the pot, or just the white daisies alone, maybe just the white petals of the daisies. So it might be just two colours, ultramarine blue and white is all I might use. So, but I don't even have any thinner for the oil paint, so it would need to be just neat, almost straight out of the tube. Touches so that it would be something fairly swift. It could be a 5-minute third video. What do you think of that idea? Here you say, if you know me, it wouldn't be 5 minutes on you, would it? And you'd probably be right. Probably. There's something about this little dinky size that really suits me. I like the restriction of it, I suppose. That thing of having something that you have to grapple with made me really want to focus when I started out, you know, to really try and fit things in best I could in this small space. So I think that thing that makes you want to focus like that that's something to seek out when you're making a painting, I think. Something that causes you to up your game a bit, you know. There's something going around YouTube at the moment. My friend Emma Monton told me about it, where it's somebody's doing it where you've got like just 3 materials, and each day you've got 3 different materials that you use to make a piece of art. It could be like a white chalk, blue paint, pink crayon or something, or pink paper, you know. So there's, on each day there's a kind of a restriction. And the work made is pretty compelling, apparently. It's on Instagram. 3 materials challenge, I think is what it is. Just kind of grappling with this little bit, aren't I, off and on. I think it wants to be reddish. Okay, it's time to stop, I think, because I don't think I'm doing anything significant really now. Oh, the battery's low. So this is it so far, and there may be more to do with oil paint. We'll see. Look out for another video, or else I'll have decided to stop. Okay, all the very best. Thanks for joining me. This is Anya Divine signing off. Subscribe and like.